morning. Welcome back to Saxon Math. This is for grade 5, lesson 19. And today we're going to talk about the relationships between multiplication and division. Multiplication and division. So take out your math notebook. Hopefully you have it ready with a pencil at the top of your paper. Label it lesson 19. All right, lesson 19. This is your lesson practice. So make sure you label it correctly. You might want to put the date up the top of the paper so that you don't get confused which day you're doing what lesson. Okay? All right, let's start off. We're going to go ahead and scroll down here. Remember, at any point, you can always pause the video and then pick it back up again when you're ready. So here is your Power Up Mental Math. I'm going to leave it here up on the screen for you for a moment. Let me move my little talking head out of the way so you can see all of the picture. All right, so write Power Up Mental Math and then label A through H on your paper down the side, just like it is on the screen. You do not need to write out the problem, but you can if it helps you, all right? You always can, but you don't have to. I want you to go ahead and solve each one, do your very best, and then when you're done, go ahead and push play, all right? Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you got all of those correct. Let's go ahead and go over them really quickly just to make sure. For A, you should have 60, okay? Because remember, you're going to multiply from left to right. 2 times 5 is 10, and then 10 times 6 is 60. Remember, that's what we talked about yesterday. So you should have 60. B should be 90. Same process. 6 times 5, and then that answer times 3, and that will give you 90. C should be 192. Okay, this has a multiplication, and then it says plus this multiplication. So you need to do 2 multiplication problems and then add them together, and you should have got 192. For D, you should have got 260. 60. For E, you should have got 200 millimeters. 200 millimeters. Remember to put the mm at the end to signify that it's millimeters, so that if someone was reading your answer but hadn't read the problem, they would still know that you were talking about millimeters, okay? Then letter F, you should have come up with 664 points. 664 points. Remember to write points at the end, again, so we know what you're talking about. Jasmine had $5 and she spent 50 cents. How much did she have left? You should have $4.50 as your answer. Do not forget to put the dollar sign and the decimal point. Okay, $4.50. H, you should have come up with 100. Okay, you would have done 9 times 9 and then minus 1 from whatever that answer is. Then add 10 and then add another 10, and you should have come up with 100. Okay, 9 times 9 minus 1 plus 10 should give you 100. All right, good job. Let's move on. Here is our problem for the day. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Bethany ate soup and eggs and chicken, one for each meal, but not necessarily in that order. We want to list all the possible arrangements of meals that Bethany could have eaten. All right, so the first thing that we always want to do is we want to understand our problem. So if we needed to, we would read it again. For breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Bethany ate soup and eggs and chicken, one for each meal, but not necessarily in that order. List all the possible arrangements of the meals that Bethany could have eaten. Okay, so we have 2 parts. Okay, that's the first part. The next thing we need to do is we need to make a plan. What is our plan for approaching this problem? Our plan is that we're going to make a list, because it even tells us right here, make a list. List all the possible arrangements. Okay, and we've done this before in different ways. Today we're going to do abbreviated. So we see that she ate soup. We're going to use a S. She ate eggs and she ate chicken. There's one possible arrangement. Our other one that would start with a S would be S, C, E, right? Soup, chicken, eggs. All right, so one time she might have ate breakfast soup, and then lunch eggs, and then dinner chicken, and then later she might have had soup for breakfast, chicken for lunch, and eggs for dinner. All right, then we need to say that, let's start with the E's. Okay, she had eggs, she had chicken, she had soup, or she had eggs, she had soup, and she had chicken. Okay, our last possible arrangement, we would need to start with what? We're going to start with chicken. So we have chicken, soup, or eggs, or we have chicken, eggs, and soup. All right, so those are our possible arrangements. I'm going to make it go up here a little bit so you can see a little bit clearer that last one. Okay, we have now done what it says. It says list all the possible arrangements. If Bethany never eats eggs for lunch, how many arrangements of meals are possible? So what do we need to figure that out? If she never has eggs for lunch. Well, the easiest way I can think of is just to cross off the ones that we did where she had eggs for lunch, right? So we put a line through that one and a line through that one. How many are left? 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. So then at the bottom, you would write 4 possible arrangements. Great. All right. Good job. Okay, here's some vocabulary for you today. So add some vocabulary. Division is searching for a missing factor, and this is our division box. So when you see this symbol, it is a division box. Some people say division symbol. Okay, so division box or division symbol. And division is when we're searching for a missing factor. Example 1, here it is. Copy the problem into your book, please. What is the missing number? If we have 20 inside our box and we're going to divide it by 4, then up here on top of our division box is where we're going to need to put our answer. All right, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to see how many times 4 will go into 20. All right, so here we can draw and we're going to see 4, and we want to see how many times 4 could fit inside of 20. That's how I like to think about it. Okay, 4 into 20. So whatever your number is inside the box is what's getting divided up, and the number that's on the outside of the box is the number that you're dividing it by. Okay? Give me a moment here to flip my book over. All right, so we know what? We know some multiplication, right? And we can use our multiplication to help us solve this division problem, right? Because we know what? That 4 times what equals 20. Well, how do we know? What do we know? 4 times what equals 20? Good. 4 times 5 equals 20. So if we put 4 times 5 equals 20, then we know that 4 goes into 20 5 times. So we could take away the question mark. Okay, we could take away, let me get a little drawing tool here, make it a little bit fatter. I'm going to take away that question mark. Whoop, that's not the color that I wanted at all. Let's try that again. We wanted white. Okay, let's try to erase that again. There we go. That's better. So now we know that up on the top, we can put, oop, that was fun. Well, you can put the number 5. I'm just going to leave it at that. You put the number 5. Okay, there we go. Now, example number 2. To play a game during physical education class, 18 students must separate into three equal teams. What is the number of students that will be on each team? So what kind of problem is this? This is a division problem, right? We need to separate. We need to find a missing number. So what we need to do is we need to write the number of students, which is 18. No, it doesn't want to write anymore. Okay, good. 18. Oh, it's on white. That's why. Okay, let's try that again. 18. Still on white. What's going on? All right, you guys. There it is, 18. And we're going to divide it. Let me find my little division box here on the side. I don't have the right one. Okay, I'll just draw it. We're going to put 18 inside of our division box. Okay, so here's our division box. Whoa, it's fat. Oh, that's silly. All right, let's just go with it. Okay, and then we know that we're going to divide by what number? We're going to divide by 3. So 3 is going to go out here on the outside of our division box. And we need to find the missing number, which is up here at the top. So to do that, we can use a multiplication problem again to help us, right? The way we do that is we say 3 times something equals 18. All right? What times 3 equals 18? Can you remember in your multiplication facts? What times 3 equals 18? 6. Good. 3 times 6 equals 18. So then you would put the 6 up here on the top of your division box. Okay, so we can use multiplication to help us find the missing number in a division problem. Let's try one more together. An art teacher plans to distribute 80 sheets of construction paper equally to each of 10 students. How many sheets of construction paper should each student receive? Let me make this a little bit bigger. Here we go. So we know we need an 80, right? Because that's how many sheets of paper we have. And then we're going to draw our box. I want to make it smaller. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're going to draw our division box. It's still going to be nice and fat. Okay, and we know that 10 is what she's dividing by because it says she has 10 students. So we're going to put a 10 here on the outside of our division box and the 80 is in the middle. And we know that we can solve it by using a multiplication problem. So we're going to do what we did before. We're going to say 10 times blank. Whoop. There we go. 10 times blank equals 80. What times 10 equals 80? 8, right? So we're going to put 8 there, and we're going to put 8 up on top of our division box. Now, let's move it up so we can see it. Got stuck in that fat division box. Okay, you can see the problem here. 10 times 8, it's here on the side, 10 times 8 equals 80. Or 10 goes into 80 8 times. Good. Okay, example 4. Write 2 multiplication facts and 2 division facts for the fact family 5, 6, and 30. Okay, you should know how to do this because we've done fact families before, but let's practice together just to be sure. So we could do 5, oh, my paper is stuck to my arm. times 6 equals 30, right? There's 1. We could also do 6 times 5 equals 30. Now our division, we could do 30 divided by, I'm going to use this symbol here for divided by. 30 divided by 6 equals what? 5, right? Because that's the other number that's left in our fact family. And 30 divided by 6, or sorry, we did that one. 5 equals 6. Good. All right. So there's your fact family for 5, 6, and 30. Okay. Here is your lesson practice A, B, and C. This is our division symbol. It just got cut off a little bit here. So pretend that there's a bar up above here, and I'm not sure why it's not giving me the option to write smaller anymore, but there we go. Okay, so 2 goes into 16 how many times? 4 goes into 24 how many times? And 6 goes into 30 how many times? Your answer goes on top of the line. Okay, if you want to, you can show the multiplication problem, or you can just do the division if you already know it. Okay, that's fine, either way. Here's D, E, and F. It's more of the same. I want to make my pen smaller. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so let's add the lines up here for you. Here's our division box. Okay, 8 goes into 56. How many times? 3 goes into 21. How many times? And 10 goes into 30. How many times? All right, remember you can always do the multiplication to help you find the division. We're going to skip those last couple because I think you get the picture. So your homework is pages 120 and through 122, numbers 1 through 30. All right, have a great day, and I will see you all later.